For the longest time, it seemed that if Jerry Lee Lewis wasn't dead already, then obviously nothing could kill him. But what alcohol, painkillers, a perforated stomach ulcer, angry fathers and general recklessness couldn't do, advancing age finally did. The seemingly indestructible rock and roll wild man died Friday at his home in DeSoto County, Mississippi, near Memphis, his representative confirmed to USA Today in a statement. Lewis was 87. Along with Little Richard and Fats Domino, Lewis established the piano as a rock and roll instrument. In 1957, his whole lot of Shakin' Going On and Great Balls of Fire, two of the most outrageous hits of rock and roll's first generation, ignited the pop, country and R&B charts simultaneously. Lewis didn't just play the piano, he attacked it, pummeling the lower register with rock-steady left-hand lines and ripping across the keyboard with slashing glissandos. He smashed the keys with his foot, he kicked the piano stool out from under him and continued to pound away. Lewis performed in a 1958 teen flick called High School Confidential, and his real life was every bit as lurid as the film's title promised. On the opening night of disc jockey Alan Freed's Big Beat show in March 1958, after losing an argument about whether he or Chuck Berry should close the show, Lewis poured a bottle of gasoline on his piano and set it ablaze. They had to call the fire department and everything, Lewis remembered in Rick Bragg's 2014 biography Jerry Lee Lewis, his own story. Lewis experienced a comeback in country music during the late 60s, around the same time he starred as Iago in a rock and roll adaptation of Shakespeare's Othello called Catch My Soul. He was a regular presence on the country charts through the end of the next decade with such singles as What's Made Milwaukee Famous, Has Made a Loser Out of Me, and Middle Age Crazy. He recorded sporadically after the early 80s, releasing a Sun Records-esque comeback album, Young Blood, in 1995. Two duets albums followed, Last Man Standing and Mean Old Man, which paired him with George Jones, Willie Nelson, Bruce Springsteen and Mick Jagger, and his final album, 2014's Rock Roll Time, featured Keith Richards and Neil Young. Lewis was one of the original inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986, along with Chuck Berry, Elvis, James Brown, Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, Fats Domino, the Everly Brothers, Buddy Holly and Little Richard. After Don Everly died in 2021, Lewis became the longest surviving member of the induction class. In 1989, Dennis Quaid portrayed Lewis in the garish biopic Great Balls of Fire. At the time of Lewis' death, director Ethan Coen had completed the documentary Jerry Lee Lewis, Trouble-in' Mind, which focused on the star's graces and demons, and premiered at Cannes Film Festival in 2022.